Welcome back to the show. We got a great one lined up. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. Real quick here, you know, there's a lot of crazy stuff happening. This is another attempted kidnapping of relatives of a crypto exchange CEO in Paris today. And this follows multiple incidences in France over the past few months, and we covered the guy from Ledger that was kidnapped, and luckily they got him. Luckily these people were able to keep themselves from being taken away. But this is why I tell you guys, go to xrpwealth589.com, open up your free account with Caleb and Brown. Why? Because you get institutional grade custody for retail folks like you and I. Why? Because there's no hidden fees, no spreads. Why? Because you get your own human customer service rep. That's exactly right. Whether it's a technical issue with your account or you want to set your market orders correctly, you can speak to a broker. They have multiple layers of security. So there is nothing to come to my house and find because it's all being held at Caleb and Brown. And I tell you, I feel really good that I have done this because I'm getting the best night's sleep of my life. I know the exchanges are going to lock up and freeze because they do every time we have a bull run. I don't know when the bull run's coming, but I know that happens. And I know because I've got things set up with my personal rep, I don't have to worry about that happening to me. And that is an incredible feeling. Not to mention all the different multiple layers of security they have. Plus, you can actually set up some things special for yourself with your rep if you want as well. I absolutely love it, and you will too. Get the best night's sleep. And it's XRP Las Vegas, 15 days away, ladies and gentlemen. Get your ticket, XRP Las Vegas, before they are gone. Now, here's the question, ladies and gentlemen. Will crypto legislation die on Capitol Hill? Let me tell you, watch that first video from this morning. Things are developing. And I think we get legislation, but you need to watch that video to find out what's going on. Let's start right here. I said the other day when President Trump took the defense secretary and the secretary of state and the Department of Commerce secretary featured in that video right there, and Elon Musk and other representatives from the administration over to the Middle East to meet Saudi Arabia's leadership and Qatar and other areas as well. This is a big moment. And I said it was a big moment because this is where the petrodollar agreement is held. Bretton Woods 2.0 is here. Now, they signed a lot of agreements together, some about bringing a lot of innovation and money into the United States, others about different areas as well. It'll be exciting to see those in detail when we find out more. But here's what I'll say. This is Elon Musk sitting down at the same meet, essentially, during the same visit. And this is what was said during the opening of his session. Take a listen.
The sponsorship and guidance of His Royal Highness to celebrate a U.S.-Saudi and a Saudi-U.S. relationship that is 92 years old, about how we move from an oil-based economy to an innovation-based economy.
There we have it. Confirmation, ladies and gentlemen. We are moving from an oil-based economy to an innovation-based economy. And this is important because this is where our dollar currently gets the elevated status as the world reserve currency because of the petrodollar agreement to trade in US dollars for every barrel of oil. There's a change a-coming. I believe this. You don't have to, but I do. And that change is also happening simultaneously with inside the financial system now. This is Connexus. You know, Connexus by JPMorgan, Ondo Finance, Chainlink, teaming up to connect bank settlement infrastructure to Ondo's chain. Ondo is a Ripple partner as well. This is amazing because they just made their first payment together. Ripple's network provides an alternative infrastructure for cross-border payments using XRP, an unbacked floating digital asset. JPMorgan's Connexus, formerly Onyx, platform leverages blockchain technology for institutional cross-border payments and settlement. Regulated single currency stablecoins such as Circle's USDC are more widely available for retail use, blah, 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 blah. But isn't it funny that Ripple just made a play to buy Circle? And I don't know if that's done and over with yet either. But to bring this home, don't forget BlackRock's in the middle of all of this. We're bringing OUSG to the XRP ledger with Ripple. OUSG, an institutional grade product backed by tokenized U.S. Treasuries and BlackRock's Biddle Fund, represents a natural fit for blockchain purpose-built for institutional adoption. So now we have Ripple, Ondo Finance, JPMorgan's platform Onyx rebranded as Connexus, and BlackRock all touching elbows to the XRP ledger and Ripple. How about that? Pretty amazing, right? At the same time that President Trump is going over to the Middle East and working all of these new trade deals using tariffs as leverage before everything is digitized and tokenized, moving to a new digital on-chain economy. Inside and outside the financial system, geopolitically, domestically, this is taking shape. I believe what we're seeing here is evidence of that. $4 trillion asset manager JPMorgan settles first public transaction of tokenized treasuries using Ondo and the rest of what we just went over. Amazing. Ripple touting the use of collateral integrated into global payments for trusted institutions. Real USD is the bridge between traditional finance and crypto. Exactly. The two worlds have to come together somewhere. And where is that somewhere? On the XRP ledger. That's where that somewhere is. You know, the same XRP ledger is rubbing elbows with JPM, Ondo, and BlackRock, and Ripple. This is where we're going. And it's about to get a lot bigger, I believe, because what I see setting up is a flywheel effect, if you will. I really do. Understanding the real USD will also be used heavily in the new Hidden Road acquisition by Ripple, which settles over $3 trillion a year. This will all touch and be built on the ledger. This is all happening. That's why I say, you know, look, I went back and found this because I felt it was so spot on. It's an old diagram I put together back in 2022 about Ripple and the XRP flywheel effect. Just looking at it from the way banks use it, obviously know how this goes in. Cash goes in, market maker, ODL partner uses XRP where applicable for a faster transaction, more efficient, and then out comes what the customer wants on the other side. Coming to the backside of all of this, we know for years that Ripple had started buying back XRP off of the market as they decided to. And they also do what every month? Take a certain amount of XRP out and release it. You know, like US digital asset stockpile is currently designed to do. But what did they do with that redirected buyback of XRP? They redirected that liquidity to ODL partners off of the non-ODL retail exchanges. And remember back in the day, Jed McCaleb had to sell $9 billion of his XRP. Who bought all of that? You think we did? That's cute. How come Jed McCaleb was never actually named in the SEC lawsuit with having $9 billion of it and sold it all through his taco stand wallet? Again, I ask you, you think all of us bought his $9 billion XRP? I got some waterfront property and oceanfront property in Arizona for you. It's unbelievable what people think. What I think is happening here with the very start of what we saw with JPMorgan and Ondo making that first transaction is the beginning of moving the Nostro Vostro traditional payment rails over into the XRP ledger, eliminating pre-funding. Yes, this is just the beginning, but this is how the flywheel effect starts. And the next thing you know, the market makers realize that this is kicked on, and they will start to buy XRP in huge amounts because they know that the price will start going up in an overall general sense. And they're better off getting as much of it today as they can because it will be more expensive tomorrow. That moment's not here yet, but I tell you, I do believe that is what the system is designing right now for it to happen. Not financial advice from me or anyone else, it's just my digital perspectives. Ripple, Ondo, JPMorgan, Blackrock are all making transactions on ledgers, digital ledgers. And in the case that we're discussing here, they're all touching and rubbing elbows with the XRP ledger. I'll catch all of you on the next one.